Hi there. This is a short discussion about the sheets for the Fällkniven F1 survival knife. This knife, I guess most of you are familiar with this knife. It's a Swedish made stainless steel knife, full tang. The steel goes from the top all the way to the back. There's a part of the tang showing, so you can use it as a hammer or to hit something with. The knife itself also has a lanyard hole, and the handle is made of some sort of rubber. It's very good, comfortable in the hand, and gives you a very good grip. The knife itself is made of high quality steel. There are two types of steel options for these knives. There's the one that's labeled 3G, which is a more high quality steel and harder steel than this one. This is the basic model, but it's still a very, very good steel. There are many knockoff brands for the Fällkniven knives, and you can tell them apart from the original knives. If you look closely at the blade, about 4 millimeters from the edge, there will be a clearly visible line, or the different parts are a different shade of the metal. I guess you can't see this now on the video, but there are a lot of photos and explanations on the Fällkniven's own websites, so check that out if you're not sure. Okay, so this is not about the knife itself. This knife is a survival knife, so it's made for all-round purposes, which means it isn't great at anything, but it doesn't suck at anything either. It has a straight 90-degree spine, which means you can use a ferro rod or something similar with the spine, or use the spine to carve material when you don't want to use the blade. The blade itself is very, very sharp right from the factory. Of course, you wouldn't expect anything less from this company. However, the sheet I got this knife with is made from plastic, zytel, and this is not so great. The knife itself slides in there well, but it's very loose inside the sheet. Of course, there's the snap buckle here that secures the knife in the sheet, and you cannot pull it out, not even by accident. But if you do not snap that on, the knife will come out of the sheet. Of course, I had to use some force, but still the knife comes out of the sheet, but can pop out from the sheet by accident. Here's a small plastic piece that's supposed to keep the knife inside. It's pressing against the knife. As you can see, when I pull it out, it comes out a bit, it pops in again, and it should be holding the knife down, but it's not quite as steady as it should be. Of course, the snap buckle takes care of this problem, but I don't like this feature that it's too loose, and the knife can pop out of there at any time. So what I did to fix this, I simply took an old bicycle inner tire made of the rubber, cut it to pieces. I guess these are like 2 centimeters, 1 centimeter wide, it doesn't really matter, and just slide them over here, over the piece that's supposed to keep the knife in there. I used 3 pieces just to be sure. This and the last one is super tight. So now these rubber tubes, pieces, bands are pressing against the plastic piece that is supposed to secure the knife. Now it's kind of hard to get the knife in, and it stays very firmly in there. It doesn't come out. Okay, so that fixed that problem. Because I've had the whole tire to use, so I cut another piece. I guess this is about 7 centimeters, and put it on the lower piece of the sheet. And now I can carry my ferro rod in here. As you can hear, it's very tight, so the ferro rod won't come out there. And also I have this small ceramic sharpener. It costs €1. This goes in at the back. Very tight. That won't come out of there anytime. So now I have a complete set with the sharpener, ferro rod, and the knife, of course. And this I'm quite happy with. But in my opinion, Fällkniven should have mended this problem, or the problem shouldn't be there in the sheets. The knife shouldn't be able to come out of there by accident. I don't know what you have to do in real life for the knife to pop out of there, hang up upside down or something. But in my opinion, it should stay put inside the sheet. Okay. I also got this other sheet, which is a Nordic type dangler sheet, I guess these are called. It's made of high quality, very thick leather. I guess this is 3 or 4 millimeter thick. One piece that is folded like this, and then there's 2 pieces in here in the seam, separating them and giving the knife enough room inside of the sheet. It's stitched all the way, riveted there. There are rivets here, and of course on the belt loop rivets, and a metal part there. And in this sheet the knife stays very securely. It doesn't come out no matter what, and it's easy to pull out. Guess there's a few different options for you here with the sheets, and then they all have their separate uses and advantages and disadvantages. Of course, this sheet is a bit more tactical, if you like, and the knife rides a bit higher up. Let me just show you. If you put it on your belt like this, the knife rides kind of high up. It's easy to pull out there. However, if you are wearing a big pack with a hip belt, this becomes a problem, since the hip belt will cover the knife, and if you're carrying a heavy load, the knife will start to dig into your hip and your leg, and also the sheet will restrict the movement of your leg, since it's pressing against your thigh. Of course, if you're wearing some sort of pants that do have a knife pocket, like these Fällkniven, that's not a problem. Just put the knife in the knife pockets and the problem solved. But the dangler sheet also takes care of this problem if you're wearing a hip belt, or you do not like the knife being so high up. Now you can just put the hip belt on, the knife will hang loosely below the hip belt, and it doesn't restrain the movement of your leg in any way. Also the dangler type sheet is a bit better if you want to have easier access to your knife while wearing a coat. This is a field coat or a hunting coat. As you see, it only partially covers the knife, and it's very easy to pull the knife out of there. But with the plastic sheet, the whole sheet and whole knife will be covered by the coat, and you have to kind of pull the coat very high up to get the knife out of there. So that's something to consider when you're buying the knife. The knife ships usually with this plastic sheet, and you have to buy this leather sheet separately. Of course, there are many third-party manufacturers that making sheets for this knife. So that's something to consider for you. I kind of like both sheets, but I do carry the dangler sheets a bit more, since it doesn't scream tactical all over it, and it's more at home here in Finland in our forests. Well, this is a bit more tactical, and I don't know, might scare someone off, I guess. So, yeah, that's it. Fällkniven F1 survival knife, plastic sheet, leather sheet, plastic sheet with some mods to improve safety and carry options.